The cruise ship was a palace. Sundecks gleamed, water sparkled. Sarah and David, newly married, were giddy. Their laughter echoed on the salt breeze. This was it, paradise, adventure, them. The island rose from the sea, green and tempting. "Let's explore," David said, eyes shining. Sarah, ever cautious, hesitated. "We shouldn't stray far." But the lure of the unknown was strong. They ventured into the jungle's emerald embrace, hand in hand. The air grew heavy, humid. Sunlight struggled to pierce the thick canopy. They laughed, snapping photos until silence. David was gone. "David!" Sarah's voice trembled. Panic welled. She was alone. Shadows seemed to writhe around her. Every rustle of leaves sent shivers down Sarah's spine. "David!" she called, her voice thin and scared. The jungle offered no reply. Then the whispers started, soft at first, like the wind through leaves, but they grew, twisted into words. Alone. Always alone. They hissed. Sarah spun, searching for the source, heart pounding, but there was nothing. Only the deepening shadows. A flicker of movement, something darted behind a massive tree trunk. Gone before she could focus. Fear turned her blood to ice. These woods were not welcoming. Something was wrong, deeply wrong. David, meanwhile, pushed through dense foliage, each step feeling heavier than the last. The jungle seemed to close in around him, the thick canopy blocking out the sun and casting eerie shadows. He called for Sarah, his voice echoing through the trees, but the jungle swallowed his cries, leaving him with only the sound of rustling leaves and distant animal calls. Despair began to gnaw at him, a relentless beast that fed on his growing fear and uncertainty. Had he been foolish to lead them so far into the unknown? The weight of his decisions pressed down on him. A clearing opened before him, a brief respite from the oppressive jungle. Relief flooded him, a momentary lightness in his chest, then drained away as quickly as it came. Standing there was Sarah, but her face was contorted in anger, eyes blazing with fury. "You never loved me!" she spat, her voice dripping venom, each word a dagger to his heart. It was all a lie. David recoiled, his mind reeling from the accusation. This wasn't Sarah, couldn't be. Yet the scene shifted, the jungle melting away. He saw himself back at their wedding, face grim, forcing a smile that never reached his eyes. The joy, the love, all gone, replaced by a cold, empty void. Doubt, insidious and cold, began to twist in his gut, a serpent coiling tighter with each passing second. Sarah stumbled through the jungle, the whispers following, mocking her fear. Each step felt heavier, the darkness around her closing in, suffocating. She could feel the weight of their words pressing down on her soul. They painted pictures in her mind. David, indifferent, turning away from her. His back was a wall, cold and unyielding, a stark contrast to the warmth she once knew. Moments from their courtship, now tainted with suspicion. Laughter that once echoed with joy now seemed hollow, filled with hidden meanings and unspoken doubts. Then a vision clear as day, David down on one knee, proposing. The memory was vivid, almost tangible, a beacon in the darkness, but in his eyes, instead of love, she saw calculation, cold and sharp. It was as if a mask had been lifted, revealing a stranger beneath. The whispers hissed, "He doesn't love you, never did." Their voices were like poison seeping into her thoughts, twisting her memories, but then another memory, unbidden. It surged forward, unrelenting, breaking through the darkness. David, caring for her when she was sick, his face etched with worry. His hands were gentle, his eyes filled with genuine concern. The whispers faded, their hold weakening. The darkness began to lift, replaced by the light of truth. That was the David she knew, the man who loved her truly. The memories of their love were stronger than any doubt. The visions were lies, meant to break them. She knew now that their love was real, and nothing could take that away. David burst back through the foliage, a desperate cry escaping his lips. His heart pounded in his chest, each beat echoing the terror that gripped him. The jungle seemed to close in around him, the shadows whispering threats and fears. He stopped short. Sarah stood before him, her face pale but determined. Her eyes met his, and in that moment he saw a glimmer of hope amidst the chaos. "It's a lie," she said, her voice firm and unwavering. "They're trying to trick us, to break us apart. We can't let them win," she continued, her resolve strengthening with each word. "We have to stay strong, together." He rushed to her, relief flooding him. The weight of his fears lifted slightly as he held her close, feeling her warmth and strength. "I saw things, horrible things," he said, his voice trembling. "Visions of despair, of us being torn apart. But I knew they weren't true. Not really," he added, his voice gaining strength. "Our love is stronger than any illusion they can conjure." As they embraced, the whispers reached a fever pitch, then abruptly ceased. The jungle seemed to hold its breath. the oppressive atmosphere lifting slightly. Before them, the air shimmered, a surreal and almost magical sight. It was as if the very fabric of reality was bending to their will. For a moment they saw their tormentors, grotesque, shadowy figures, their eyes burning with malice. These were the demons that had haunted their every step. Then, with a final, frustrated shriek, the figures vanished, dissolving into the air like mist. The jungle was silent once more. The demons were real, but their love was stronger. They had faced the darkness and emerged victorious, their bond unbreakable. Hand in hand they made their way back, the jungle no longer menacing. Each step they took was a testament to their resilience and unity. They emerged onto the beach, the cruise ship a beacon of safety. The sight of it filled them with a sense of peace and relief. They had faced the darkness together and emerged, their bond unbreakable. The trials they had endured only served to strengthen their love. Back on board, surrounded by normalcy, they held each other close. The familiar surroundings of the ship were a stark contrast to the horrors they had faced. They knew their love was special, tested by fire, and emerged stronger. Every glance, every touch reaffirmed their connection. They had stared into the abyss and found their way back to each other. The journey had been harrowing, but it had also been a testament to their love. And they knew, with unwavering certainty, that their love story, their happily ever after, had just begun. The future was theirs to write together.